Hi, welcome along to Jeff Stamps. I have these Russian stamps that have arrived. I was going to show you these before I actually put them in my stock book, but I decided to put them in the stock book first. So there's a few here, and I know these are fairly common, but I find them interesting anyway. This big one here, which is a bit different from all the others I'll be showing you, 1966 Antarctica stamp from Russia. And you can see the perforations through the middle to a certain point anyway. All right, so these stamps that I have received from the Soviet Union, these are Soviet Union USSR stamps. This one here is entitled Gold Star Medals, Hammer and Sickle. Gold Star Medals, Hammer and Sickle from 1978. It's a definitive and offset lithography. All of these, I would say, or most, are CTOs, cancelled to order. Soviet Union, USSR, miner with a coal hammer. Now, I don't know why that's having trouble focusing, but there we go. Miner with a coal hammer. And this is from 1957, and it is a definitive stamp. All right, so Soviet Union, USSR, and I like the colour of this stamp here. Simply entitled Airman. From 1949, it's a definitive and the printing method offset lithography. Soviet Union, USSR, and this one features a scientist at the microscope. Well, you can see the microscope beside him. 1961, definitive and offset lithography. Also from the Soviet Union, USSR. Oh, here we go. This one is Harvester Driver. From 1961, it's a definitive and offset lithography. Same again for that one. Soviet Union, USSR, Worker and Collective Farmer, 1961. Definitive and offset lithography. Same for this one, although it has a different image on the front, but it is still entitled Worker and Collective Farmer, 1961, definitive and offset lithography. Still from the USSR, 1961. Definitive and offset lithography. This one here features the state coat of arms, the USSR state coat of arms and the USSR flag. See the flag down the bottom there. 1961 definitive and offset lithography. That's better. So this one is the Soviet Union, obviously, USSR, Moscow, Kremlin. 1961 definitive, also offset lithography. Most of these are CTOs, as I said before. And here's another one. Same again. Moscow, Kremlin, 1961. Soviet Union, USSR, space flight from 1961. And this one here, harvester in the field. This is 1961, harvester in the field, and it's a definitive. Okay, this one here, if I can just get it focused. Yep. This one here is the Ostankino TV tower in Moscow, 1978. It's a definitive and offset lithography. Oops, I'm very sorry about that. Bumping the camera. Soviet Union, USSR steel worker from 1968, and it's a definitive. Recess printing for that last one. Here we go with USSR Red Army soldier. 1966, it's definitive and offset lithography. Soviet woman, USSR. Beg your pardon, Soviet woman. Soviet airplane, And this features the Antonov AN-10A plus the satellite, 1966 definitive and offset lithography. Featuring a globe and a jetliner, an airliner. Why isn't that focusing? There we go. Featuring a globe and an airliner, 1978, and it's a definitive offset lithography. This next one here, where are we? Postal Transport, 1968. Beg your pardon, did I say 68? Postal Transport, 1983. That's the date. It's a definitive and offset lithography. Here we go. The Soviet Union, USSR, Spassky Tower, Kremlin. The Spassky Tower, Kremlin. 1954, definitive and offset lithography. Now this one here, had a bit of trouble trying to get some information on this particular stamp. I would say it's around 1960, 61, but I'm going to have to check this one out anyway a bit further to find out some information on that particular one there. So just over the page a bit. Just move this stock book across here. Nearly finished. This features the Order of Labour Glory First Class. It's a medal. 1976. It's a definitive and recess printing. And this one here is the same, although it's slightly different in colour, or the shade of the green. This one here, Woman with a Dove. You see the dove there on the left-hand side, her right-hand side, your left-hand side. 1968 definitive, 16 Soviet kopek. That's the denomination there. And it's recess printing. This is the Soviet Union, USSR, obviously. The Gold Star, beg your pardon, the Komsomol banner. That's the Komsomol banner, boy and girl, 1968. And it's a definitive and recess printing. The Komsomol of Ukraine, because Ukraine was part of the USSR back then. The Komsomol of Ukraine, officially the Leninist Communist League of Youth of Ukraine, was a youth organization in the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic. Here we go with the coat of arms, 1968, the USSR coat of arms, 1968, definitive offset lithography. Here we go with the Gold Star and Hammer and Sickle, 1977. The Gold Hammer and Sickle medals, 1977, offset lithography. There it is again. The Soviet, the Worker and Collective Farmer, 1978, definitive. Come on. 3 Soviet Kopek. And this one here, Steel Worker and Blast Furnace. And this one goes back to 1958. This was issued. Steel Worker and Blast Furnace, 1958, definitive, offset lithography. Here we go, another one of these, Steel Worker stamps here. Well, I'm having a bit of trouble today with this focusing, and I don't know why I'm having all this trouble here. It's a bit of a mystery there, but can you see that a bit better there now? There it is. I'm very sorry about that. It's very rare I have trouble with focusing. Yeah, so this one here is 1960. The Steel Worker and Blast Furnace stamp I showed you before was 1958. This one's 1960. Soft powder blue there. This one from 1960, entitled Architect Definitive Offset Lithography. There he is with his architectural plans rolled up. 1960, as I said before. This one here from 1936, Factory Worker. It's a definitive and offset lithography. Factory Worker, 10. You can see the denomination there. 1948, coat of arms, USSR. (1939), simply entitled Minor, M-I-N-E-R, Minor. It's a definitive and offset lithography. This one here, so the Soviet Union, USSR, Space Probe, Luna 9 and Moon. 1966 definitive offset lithography. Soviet Union, Palace of Congresses, Moscow or Moscow, Kremlin. That one's definitive. This one here, Woman Collective Farmer with a Sheaf, 1949. Farm Woman, 1960. It's a definitive. All of these are in pretty good condition. They're all CTOs that I can see anyway. Worker and Collective Farmer, 1978. It's a definitive. And this final one here, State Coat of Arms from 1978, definitive and offset lithography. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that. I'll be back again with another stamp video very, very soon. I've got some really interesting stamps I want to show you. Please subscribe and click the bell icon. And I really do appreciate you watching. And also, don't forget to check out and watch those other great stamp channels that are out there on YouTube. Bye for now.